Welcome to Doak Campbell Stadium here in Tallahassee, Florida, the site for this very important SEC matchup between the Auburn Tigers and the Florida State Seminoles. I'm David Roy, and in the booth with me, as always, is the commissioner of the CFSL, Mike Peters. And Mike, both teams come in looking to win the conference. What's your take on tonight's game?
Big game for both of these teams. Auburn comes in with a 9-game winning streak, the longest winning streak we've ever seen in this league. Well, tied for the longest. They could set the longest tonight, but Florida State's got an opportunity with a win here against Auburn to set themselves at number 1 in the SEC and put themselves in a spot for a conference championship. It's going to be a great night. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it should be exciting.
We get our first look at this Florida offense that comes into tonight, averaging 27.4 points per game, 11th best in the league, as Adonis Jackson's opening pass is an incomplete one.
Well, they try to go with a wide receiver screen rather, and there's 3 Auburn Tigers over there to shut it down.
Trips to the right, and off Loon on the counter run, has a crease and fighting with Bubba Bullard to get yardage. He'll pick up 8 on the carry, and it's 3rd and 2.
Bullard might need to go to the house of gains in the offseason. He got pushed back a little bit there by Lund, who does a nice job picking up 8.
Pistol set, Monte Jones in motion. Lund with the carry. The inside and fighting his way across the 40 with an extra burst. He'll pick up 9 yards.
Lund's starting out well. He comes into the game not as great as maybe they hoped of. Only 390 yards and 4.8 per carry coming in, but he's off to a good start.
Option keeper, and Adonis Jackson has a first down. And so when the passing game starts out poorly, Mike, they go to the running game 3 straight plays.
Well, and it's working for him. The thing I don't like about that, though, is he had Monte Jones out there blocking for him. If he stays outside, he's got a lead blocker. His speed gets a little bit too much of him, gets out in front of him. Maybe gave up some yards.
And off for Lund, and he's balled up pretty quickly. Still manages to squeak out 3 yards, but the Auburn defense starting to tighten.
Callaway and Conrad Wallace got in there to make the tackle. Shortest run they've allowed so far on this drive.
4 wide here, Jackson to throw. Floating it left sideline. That pass caught inside the 25 by Jalen Waters.
What a catch there. He goes with the corner route. And just slightly overthrown, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that was a perfectly thrown ball, actually, by Adonis Jackson. And he does a perfect job of catching it, keeping his feet in, and moving the chains.
So after really hitting the ground 4 consecutive running plays, they go to the air. It gets them knocking on the red zone. And here another pass, a check down for Vidar Lund, picks up 5.
Well, outside of that wide receiver screen that Auburn shut down, they haven't had many answers for this Florida State offense.
Backs on the gun and in motion is Waters to work his way to the left side of the formation.
3-on-1 down there.
Counter run, Loon to the right side, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 against Ambrose McDanielson.
They had 3 people guarding Waters in the slot down there, and it completely cleared out the top side of the screen, and they go to it with the run. Nice game.
Waters in motion into the backfield. Triple option, and the pitch. Touchdown, Vidar Lund.
Great triple option they go with there. Well-timed, well-played by Adonis Jackson. Keeps it, pitches it to his running back out there as the 2 defenders converge on him. And Vidar Lund in there with the 7th rushing touchdown of the season.
Vidar Lund has had at least 1 rushing touchdown every game this season. But, Mike, even above that, just last week, he had his first 100-yard rushing performance of the season and off to a strong start here tonight.
Like I said, it's been a little bit of an auspicious debut with them. He had 82 yards in that first game versus Bama, and he has had a touchdown, but hasn't really had a breakout game. Had 103 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. We'll see what he does tonight.
As we still await a kick return for a touchdown by Crossferry the 30, got 27 there. We get a look at Auburn's tailback, Robert Davis, coming in and looking to make a dent on this defense.
Why is Bobby Jackson telling me to catch up? What did I miss?
Now pitch to throw. has time in the pocket, but the pass rush closed, and yet he still finds Bubba Davis all alone on the sideline for 8.
Well, we've seen this from Bubba Davis for 4 seasons. He is a clutch guy over the middle, on the sideline. Wherever you throw it to him, he always seems to come down with it.
Wide receiver screen, Crossberry the third in a foot race and breaking a tackle and spun down inside the Florida State 35, a 28-yard play.
Nice play there by Crossberry. Thinking of the clutch thing gets me thinking of a post that we've had on the OOTP forums talking about clutch. There's supposedly no statistical proof that clutch exists. Somebody tell that to Bubba Davis, and hey, maybe even a little bit of Griffin Jelkic, who seems to have developed some clutch.
It's certainly been pretty clutch this season. Is a play fake here, and Jelkic into double coverage. Wanted the tight end McKenzie, but it's off his fingertips and incomplete.
Well, Jelkic is moving the ball down through the air. We got to see if they're going to go with Robert Davis. I wouldn't mind seeing some read option with Jelkic and Davis.
Jelkic a throw on second down. This one floated. There's the tight end, Michael McKenzie, who's made quite the name for himself, and he's going to add to that, picking up 16 and getting inside the red zone.
Well, they're just using the little levels concept where they run a bunch of out routes all going the same direction. They find the one that's open. This time it's McKenzie, and he's able to get the catch and turn upfield. We talked about him many a times, one of the better tight ends in this league, and he's a dangerous weapon if you leave him open.
Well, Mike, the truck highlighted Robert Davis coming onto the field for this offense. Maybe they should have highlighted Jelkic. 5 straight passing plays here, but that one also incomplete over the middle.
Yeah, he's going for CF3 there. Just leads him a little bit too much. One of the few mistakes that either one of these quarterbacks has made so far is they're both coming out firing very well.
The backfield, Jelkic to throw again. To the middle, there's the tight end McKenzie, and he gets rocked by Ben Cole.
You know, finally 2 seasons in, I figured out that McKenzie has the dark sleeves and Crossberry has the white sleeves.
Because where they lined up didn't clue you into that?
No, I don't know why. I always got them confused, and now, for some reason, it's just now clicking tonight.
I mean, the numbers don't help. 86 for
right.
Crossberry.
That's my biggest thing is I usually focus on numbers, but I finally figured out the sleeves.
I got you. Jelkic under duress, and he has to throw that through the back of the end zone on third down. 4th and 1. Do you go for it here?
I was going to say I would go for it. Why not? And they're going to. They're not going to rest on a field goal. This is a big game. You got to play for all the marbles.
Single back set. McKenzie, the tight end, in motion. Jelkic, 3-step drop, quick throw, and reaching back for that was Ferry.
Well, Ferry bailed out Jelkic there as he got off a bad pass, but the 5-star wide receiver makes the grab and keeps the drive alive.
On the 2-yard line, I formation, 2 tight ends set. Davis, touchdown Auburn.
Robert Davis getting in there. Short run, his 4th touchdown of the season. And we talked about this. The one thing, despite his yards per carry, he has been a monster scoring touchdowns. 15 last season. He only got 4 this season, though. He's way behind his normal pace.
So as we really open things up, the 2 offenses finding their rhythm, Mike, and again, it's got that playoff atmosphere here in Tallahassee tonight.
It does, and I expect that's going to carry on all game. We saw, and we talked about Adonis Jackson and some of his struggles early on in his freshman season with turnovers. He's looking better the last few weeks. He looked great on that first drive. I think Jelkic has looked great all season long. I think it's going to be a fantastic game.
Loon getting the carry early here, and the Auburn defense slams the door in his face, only picking up 2 yards.
Well, this will be the interesting thing to watch, is if Auburn is able to start shutting down this run game, how does FSU respond through the air?
Jones in motion, Loon getting the carry right side, and there to lay the lumber is Ollie P. Peters, holding him to a 1-yard gain.
OPP has been a player of the week conversation the last 3 weeks, won it 2 weeks ago, and definitely a player of the year candidate in their senior season.
4 wide, 2-by-2 look, 3rd and 7 for the Seminoles. Jackson with a 3-man rush, goes short of the marker, and breaking up that play was Mark Calloway.
Well, and there we saw it. Auburn did adjust and played for the run on that drive, and FSU wasn't really able to capitalize, played it safe on 3rd down, and now they go 3 and out. They're going to give good field position to the Tigers.
Osprey the third inside his own 35, and Florida State special teams very quickly keeping him on the Auburn side of the field. But, Mike, as you point out, that drive by Griffin Jelkic, bailing him out was Crossbury the third, but it was a good drive.
Don't be surprised to see a deep pass to one of his receivers from Jelkic on this drive.
Play fake, Jelkic open it up with a deep shot, and there's Crossbury the third, dragged down at the 4 by Ben Cole.
Well, he found him, Crossbury to third on the outside. I just had a feeling after that methodical drive on the last drive that they were going to go for a quick strike, and they do, and they get down inside the 5. Big play there for Auburn.
Setup drive for the big play puts them in a goal-to-go situation from the 4.5-yard line, and they'll come out in a single back set. 3-step drop, Jelkic throwing for the end zone for Ferry, and that pass broken up, 2nd and goal.
Pretty standard goal line play there. They got slants coming across the middle, and they got the little table routes on the outside. They go for the slant. Great coverage there by Florida State.
Read option keeper, and that play blown up. Akuma Talok in the backfield for a loss of 4.
I saw that coming before the snap as he was coming around the edge. The defensive end crashes on the line, or on the running back like he's supposed to. Talok comes around the edge. Excellent defense there by Florida State.
Backed up to the 9. It's 3rd and goal. Jelkic to throw. Dancing. Gets hit as he throws, but he finds Davis down to the 1.
Well, it was a great throw there. Left it a little bit short, but there was a lot of coverage, so they're going to go for it again. They got the touchdown after they went for it on 4th down. They need the touchdown to convert here.
Goal line set. Power on power, and the fullback goes outside and into the end zone for 6.
What vision by the walk-on Richardson. Most fullbacks just pound that up the middle and get stuffed. The walk-on sees what's going on. That's coaching by the Auburn Tigers. He gets outside into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn.
So, Mike, in a game like this, where we talk about, the 3-and-out and the playoff atmosphere, how much is that early 3-and-out going to hurt Florida State, given Auburn with their 2 straight scoring drives?
Well, we don't know yet. I mean, if they score here and then Auburn goes 3-and-out, it doesn't mean much. If they don't stop Auburn all night, then it means a lot. So it's just going to kind of depend on how the rest of the game plays out.
That's a decent return. But, Mike, what do you want to see from Florida State with this drive in particular?
Well, I think they're going to have to do what Auburn did and use some play action, try to spread out this defense a little bit and open up some more room to run.
And off here, Vidar Loon fighting a slight crease and then being met with the shoulder of Callaway after a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, we talk about even teams like Nebraska who run the ball 90% of the time, it seems like. You have to use the play action to keep the defense honest. And right now, Florida State's not doing that, and Auburn's doing a really good job of shutting down the run because they expect it's coming.
Wide, trips top the screen. Jackson to throw here. He's taking a shot to the right sideline and finds his man, Kamorian Moore.
A little bit of space there in between the cover, too. I think that was Ambrose McDanielson and Jaquan Jackson that were over there. And just well read over there on the sideline. And they get in there and complete it. Nice pass there by Adonis Jackson. Well read against the defense for the first down.
Seminoles down inside Auburn territory, and the ball spot at the 45. Empty backfield. Jackson to the middle, and coming back for that was Pence. He gets 9 yards, but Mike, if he doesn't come back for that, that's a first down.
Well, it was thrown a little bit behind him, so he had, or at least he thought it was going to be, or maybe he felt like he needed to. So it did lose a yard, but they still get an opportunity.
Read option keeper, and Adonis Jackson gets hopped by Callaway after picking up 6.
Well, if he cuts inside, he's got Vidar Loon lead blocking for him. He stays outside, and Mark Callaway says hello.
Callaway, his 5th tackle so far tonight. Loon running left side. He's got the edge, and a stiff arm is going to get him the first down inside the red zone.
Excellent blocking there. We see so many teams struggle with those outside run plays, but Florida State does a great job of blocking there to pick up the first.
option keeper. Jackson running right, cuts inside, down inside the 5, and that is where he is followed up by Jaquan Jackson and Mark Calloway.
We've questioned his vision a couple of times so far tonight, but he does a good job there. Splits in between the two blockers, cuts back inside, lets his offensive lineman come back and get a block for him, and he gets it inside the 5. Nice run there.
First and goal. And the rare times tonight, Adonis Jackson under center in the I formation. 2 receivers left. Toss to the weak side, and an easy touchdown for Vidar Lund.
Well, an excellent read there by Jackson. When you see him go to his hip there, he's changing the play. He sees all the opening to the top of the screen. He goes that way, Lund in there with his second touchdown of the night. Easy money.
And Mike, as you mentioned, about that 3-and-out potentially hurting him. It doesn't hurt now if the Florida State defense can get it stopped with this drive.
I think Bobby Jackson is talking to Mike Lewis, who is Conrad Wallace. And I keep thinking he's talking to me, and I'm like, what am I doing?
Crossberry the third had a crease, but did not see the defender at hip level there to bring him down. And ball spot at the 30.
Well, Kilowatts a little upset with the 100-1 shutout, but it was 100-1, people.
It would have paid pretty well. Quick pass, that one batted away by Rob Money.
Now, Rob Money saw a bag full of money in the end zone and unfortunately took his eyes off the football.
It just dawned on me, Kilowatts could be upset about Horns' prediction in the previews about a shutout. Is this pass to the sideline for Michael McKenzie, but he's out of bounds.
I was so busy today, I didn't even get to read that. Did Horns really predict that there was going to be a shutout?
He said 17-0.
Oh, my. Yeah, we've seen one in over 400 games.
Yeah. Still set. 3rd and 10. Yelkic dancing. That pass nearly intercepted by the defensive end in coverage.
Well, we haven't seen that really since Alvin Mack. And Graves had an opportunity. Had a nice game last week, had an opportunity at interception. Not able to bring it in.
There, the Florida State defense gets a 3-and-out, forcing a punt. And Tom Pence getting close to the 45-yard line. And Adonis Jackson, the Seminoles, an opportunity to try to get this lead back.
Well, and as I mentioned before, that 3-and-out for Florida State really goes to mean nothing, as right now they got an opportunity to take the lead.
Jackson with a blitz in his face. Finds Kamorian Moore over the middle, and he'll pick up 14 and get across midfield.
And this is what Florida State needs to do. They need to go to the pass game. They need to get Auburn out of the box, and so they can go back to the run game and have a little bit more room with which to operate.
Adonis Jackson has thrown for almost 200 yards in every game this season as Jackson picks up 10 yards on the ground there, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. We're all tied up. It's a playoff atmosphere. The SEC title potentially on the line. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports. Come back to the second quarter in this one here. And it's a read option keeper, Adonis Jackson, picking up the first down to move the sticks.
Well, you talked about 200 yards passing. The way Adonis Jackson's running right now, he might go for 200 yards rushing.
And he hasn't had a 100-yard rushing game since way back in week 1 as a speed option here, and the Auburn defense was sitting on it.
Yeah, they still are not buying that Florida State will beat them passing. They are sitting on the run outside of that first drive, and Florida State's going to have to do something, try to beat them over the top or down the middle and try to spread them out some more.
Counter run, and Lund runs through Ollie P. Peters to get the 3 yards back that he lost on the previous play.
Look, I know Vidar Lund is a big boy, biggest running back we've ever had in this league, 6'3", 245. OPP, hard to break a tackle when he's coming for you.
Jackson to the middle of the field, and that pass broken up. Kamorian Moore could not hold on in the coverage by Ambrose McDanielson.
Well, it's a good job there by the Auburn defense. Now we're going to see a long field goal attempt.
This one, 47 yards out, and that one is good.
Well, Blake Harrell's had a little bit of a rocky season, including missed four in a row earlier this year. But he comes through there, 7th field goal conversion of the season. A long one, 47 yards, right down the middle, and Florida State with the lead.
looking to shift the tide back in their favor. It's a touchback, bring this out to 25. And Mike, so far again, this back and forth game, but Auburn maybe surprisingly really relying on that passing game.
They have been, and I don't know if they're going to stick with it or they're just kind of taking what Florida State's given them, and right now they're finding it through the air.
Robert Davis really been limited on carries tonight, and they're going to start this way again as Griffin Jelkic gets out of a sack and then still gets sacked as Rob Money comes up to lay the pressure.
Well, you don't see that a lot from Griffin Jelkic, one of the fewer sacked quarterbacks we've seen in his career. Last season only sacked 11 times in 11 games, but makes a mistake there trying to get outside and winds up losing a yard.
So from the 24-yard line in Auburn territory, it's a 4-wide set and a read option keeper. Jelkic finding some room out there, and he'll get 10 yards, just shy of the first down, though.
Well, I said earlier that I'd like to see them use the read option, and I think if they do, it's not only going to make Robert Davis more effective, it's going to make that passing game more effective.
Two tight ends on the field here, single back set. Davis with the carry to the inside, and he's showing that power all the way up across the 40. It's a gain of 7.
Well, now keep an eye on the passing game again. They've used the run a little bit here. Does Jelkic try to take another shot?
3 wide, McKenzie, the tight end, in motion. Quick throw, and that pass intercepted by Juan Cantu. And Cantu is going to make the house call for Florida State.
Well, instead of taking a shot, they tried to spread out the line by going with one of those constraint plays, going with the wide receiver screen. Jelkic, despite his strides, still makes a terrible decision there, and Juan Cantu makes them pay and puts Florida State up 2 scores.
The extra point is good by Blake Harrell, and now all of a sudden Auburn finds themselves down 10 on the road in a game that is very important to be able to win the SEC, something Auburn has not done.
Well, there is a reason that nobody has won more than 9 games in a row in this league, and Florida State wasn't going to make it easy for Auburn.
Freshman the third on the return, and
Tom Pence. I heard it, David. Just a slight uptick. You were hoping for it.
I was, and Tom Pence just crushed my hopes and dreams right there. It's very disappointing for me. Ball spotted at the 29 and from the left hash, and Jelkic to respond to the pick by finding Bubba Davis for gain of 9, but he gets flattened.
He does, and right now Florida State playing with some fire on defense. So that was Juan Cantu, if my vision serves me correctly. The quarterback or the cornerback who had the pick 6 coming up with the big hit.
Still 2nd and 1, though, for these Auburn Tigers. But you are right. There's a new energy with this Florida State defense as a tight end comes in motion. They put 2 tight ends on the right side, and Robert Davis getting the carry that way. But Latrell Graves gets through to push it backwards, and it's a loss of 2.
Well, this is the reason that a lot of teams struggle with that outside run is they don't have star-level defensive ends, or when they go up against star-level defensive ends, they come up and make plays. And Latrell Graves, shows why it's so important making the big play.
Mr. Full House, Davis getting the carry, and he stood up. Rob Money came through untouched to put him on his back.
Yeah, Florida State is playing with a different energy here as you hear the crowd really getting into it. They've got a 10-point lead, a lot of time here to still work in the second quarter.
It's their second 3 and out in 3 drives. The only thing that came between them was that interception, pick 6 by Juan Cantu, and Florida State has got all the momentum right now.
Yeah, they are. They didn't even need any yards here on offense because they got them on defense, but Auburn struggling a little bit early on. We'll see how it plays out.
Their own 40. Donis Jackson out of the pistol, and the handoff for Vidar Lund gets stood up by McDanielson. It's a 2-yard run.
Conrad Wallace says in chat, 3rd and 3, and we go run. Are you supposed to throw it there and just throw every time on 3rd down? I didn't mind the call. I think it was just excellent defense by Florida State. They were ready for it.
Jackson throwing into traffic, but he's going to complete that one to Kamorian Moore, who picks up 17 yards this time.
Yeah, his 3rd catch of the game. He's having himself a nice game. Was the least used receiver on this offense coming in. Only had 13 grabs coming into this game, but making a difference so far tonight.
On right now, he's been, as you said, making the difference and making the difference downfield. Most of his catches have been 20-plus yards. That one, the first one under that, is a read option keeper here for Adonis. Jackson gets out of one tackle and then tripped up by Bubba Bullard.
Yeah, Bullard saves the touchdown there. Nice job there by Jackson to power through that tackle. And if Bullard hadn't been paying attention, Jackson would have been gone.
A spot at the 23-yard line. We'll call it the 22.5 actually. It's Jackson in the gun. Read option keeper. Has a crease, shakes off Michael Myers, and a second tackler as McDanielson brings him down, but a flag is out.
That's not going to help them. They're going to go backwards there after the nice run. Kamorian Moore, who's had a nice game, gets called for the clippy, and that one's going to come back and make it a 1st and 13.
See Kamorian Moore there trying to plead his case with the referee, but it backs him up to the 26-yard line, where they'll go with a 2-by-2 look and the triple option and the pitch, and fighting through one tackle but still getting wrapped up is Jalen Waters.
Well, Jalen Waters did a nice job there fighting off the first guy, but against this defense, you're not going to be able to keep doing that. You got to get outside and try to use your athleticism, which isn't easy also, but he does good just to get 3.
Gun, Jackson to throw, and he gets sacked. Conrad Wallace brings him to the turf.
Well, that's just straight power there. As he doesn't try any moves, he just bull rushes and pushes the tackle all the way back into him, and then reaches out with that big paw and takes down Adonis Jackson.
So now Florida State still within field goal range, but they're backed all the way up to the 31, and just a couple plays ago they were knocking on the door of the red zone. Jackson to throw here. Pressure on his face, but he wants the end zone. That pass caught by Monte Jones, but he is out of bounds. It's incomplete.
Well, it was great coverage, and Jackson really couldn't have thrown that anywhere else without the chance of it getting picked. Great defense there and a great throw, just didn't work out.
This will be a 48-yard field goal attempt. Harrell made one earlier from 47 yards, and this one is good as well.
Well, Harrell started to right the ship after starting 0 for 4. He is now, what is that, 8 of 9? Yeah, he's 8 of 9 since that 0 4 start. It took my math a little bit there.
Crossberry the third will take a knee there, and we'll take this chance to give a shout out to everybody in live chat. Hex, Shane, Matt, Akuma Talok, Kilowatts, Devin Davis, Mike Lewis, Brocco, Ali, Georgia Fan, and anybody else I might have missed. I do apologize, as that pass complete for McKenzie, and it goes for a first down.
Well, a nice grab too. He uses his athleticism, has to go up and get that pass, makes it, and gets upfield to get the first.
Do want to remind everybody, as I know that Jeff pointed out earlier, go ahead and like this. If you love the CFSL, go ahead and like the live stream, and go ahead as well and subscribe if you have not already. It's a little halfback screen here for Robert Davis, and it will lose 2 yards.
And you can also, when you subscribe, you can hit the little notification bell, and it will let you know anytime we go live, just in case you miss it on Discord or whatever. You want all the extra reminders possible to let you know when we're going live. Great play there again by the defense to force the loss of 2.
You do not want to miss a second of the CFSL action, especially at this point in the season where every game matters, especially games like this where the conference title could very much still be in play, as Davis picks up 5 on the wheel route.
Well, we're playing a little bit safe here, although just not a great pass. Jelkic not as crisp as we've seen him much of this season.
And he's looked shaken since the pick 6 to Cantu. As a blitz in his face, and Jelkic still looking flustered back there, throws it away.
Well, even the greats, Ray Tatum goes down as the greatest quarterback that ever played this game, and the last 3 games of his career are probably 3 that he would like to forget despite getting the championship.
So this punt out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark it. It'll be close to the 30-yard line, I imagine.
Good field position here. Florida State already up by 13. They got 2 minutes and 13 seconds, 3 timeouts. They could add to this lead.
Hand off Loon outside of the right, finds the edge, and he'll get 5 yards to begin the drive.
Typically, you don't want to run at an end like Conrad Wallace, but they do a good job of double teaming him there and allowing Loon to get outside for the gain.
2-by-2 look here. Jackson to throw, blitz in his face, and that pass tipped at the line. Kamorian Moore was coming back for it, just couldn't get there.
Don't see that very often. The walk-on Michael Wright getting his big paw up there and swatting that one away.
3rd and 5. Halfback screen, left side. Here's Loon, but the Auburn defense closed fast, and Loon fought off Mark Callaway and OPP.
Yeah, it looked like he was out there boxing, punching guys as they were coming in, but too many defenders, and they bring him down, and now Florida State's going to punt.
3 and out for the Seminoles, and it's what the doctor ordered for the Tigers. Crossbury the third, trying to outrun the gunner of the Florida State punt team, but could not do it.
At this point, I think there's a better chance of a punt return TD than a kick return.
It looks to be that way. 1:38 to play, and Auburn trailing by 13. Yelkic able to get the pass out of his hand before Latrell Graves could get the sack.
Well, Graves made a big play not too long ago, shutting down that run, going to the outside this time. Gets in there to break up that pass.
Pistol set here. Play fake. Yelkic throwing this one to the left sideline, and that's Crossbury the third, picking up 16.
This little out route there, and Ferry gets it on the sideline, makes the catch, steps out of bounds. Got to get Yelkic in a rhythm, and it's going to start with throws like that.
Auburn's offense had 2 scoring drives to open up this game. 3 of their last 4 have ended in punts, with one exception being the pick 6 by Juan Cantu, as Auburn looks to erase that black stain on their series here tonight as Davis picks up 4.
And nothing open downfield, so he just checks it down to Davis. And again, if you can get him in a rhythm, 5-6 completions in a row, he starts to forget about that interception.
2-by-2 look. Yelkic in the pocket, pressure in his face, and he has to swing it out to Robert Davis, who will lose yardage. Toloka's there in coverage.
Well, it's not a bad decision necessarily. You get Davis in the open field one-on-one, but it's against Akuma Toloka, and he doesn't miss many tackles.
So it brings up 3rd and 6 here for the Auburn Tigers from their own 47. Kenzie, the tight end, in motion. Yelkic to throw, 4-man rush. Going short for Matt Suarez, Bubba Davis, but he is stopped short of the marker.
Well, it was a great job by Bubba Davis to start turning back, running backfield, running backwards. Basically, he wants to catch on a run. He knows he needs momentum because he's not across the line. Great job by Davis, but they threw it a little bit too short. Good job by the Florida State defense. And now Auburn's just going to try to run this one out, and Florida State seems content to go into the half up by 13.
Well, they're the home team, and again, the winner here likely, shouldn't say likely, but they do become the favorite and the front runner to win the SEC. Auburn came in undefeated, riding on that 9-game winning streak, and they will go to half trailing by 13 here as Tom Pence will run this out of bounds, and that will do it for half. And Mike, it was starting out like we were going to be in for a shootout, both offenses trading blows. And then all of a sudden, the Florida State defense stepped up and then started pulling away.
Well, I suspect a team like Auburn's going to have some tricks up their sleeve at the half. And they're going to go in and they're going to try to figure out what went wrong and get Yelkic settled down and come out with a better game plan in the second half. We might still wind up with that shutout, but right now it's been a great game overall. The running game was working early for Auburn, but then they went to the pass game, and things started to fall apart once they threw that pick 6. On the other side, Florida State's doing really well. They're running the ball well. They're throwing the ball well. Their defense is playing very well, and it's a big reason that they got this early lead. But as we see there with Conrad Wallace getting that sack, there's a lot of talent on this Auburn team, and they're not going to go away quietly.
You look at the numbers there for the two offenses. Auburn been very pass-heavy here tonight. Only 11 rushing yards for the Tigers. Meanwhile, Florida State, they've been predominantly on the ground game, although they've been fairly balanced here so far. And that turnover for Auburn has really made the difference here tonight.
Yeah, Auburn's going to have to go back. They're going to have to get the running game going. And they've passed the ball pretty well, which is surprising that the running game hasn't gotten going a little bit. They're going to definitely need that with Jelkic maybe struggling a little bit. Get the run game going, pick up some first downs, get him getting some passes, and then he can get back into your offense. But if Florida State doesn't let them find a rhythm, it could be a little bit of a struggle.
Auburn will begin this second half with the ball in their possession, an opportunity to try and make this a one-score game as Crutchfield III got a whole lot of nothing on that kick return.
Well, and I was just thinking they need guys like Cross Ferry or Michael McKenzie or even Robert Davis to really come up and start making some big plays.
From inside their own 20, or ball spot at the 19, and Robert Davis going to get the carry, was trying to find a hole, and he ended up working his way forward for 3 yards, but not a lot of action for him tonight.
Well, and I love the vision there. He was trying to be patient and let something set up. Florida State just wasn't giving him anything.
5 carries, 8 yards so far here tonight for Robert Davis. Jelkic in the pistol here, and they're going to run that read option, and Griffin Jelkic will pick up the first down.
Well, I think that's important that they run that, and look at the triple options that have been run by Florida State on the other side. If Auburn mixes that in a little bit, you definitely give the defense a lot of things to think about. Right now, they're not really having to be really scared other than maybe the play-action shot play.
And off, Davis found a crease and might have had the first down, but Akuma Talok very quickly put a stop to that.
Yeah, they're not giving Robert Davis anything right now. And, he was out the 48 yards against Florida a couple weeks ago, and he looks like he's in for another long game.
I'd be lucky if he hits 20 the way this game is going for him, as Jelkic had all day in the pocket and takes off, fighting through one tackle and sliding down to the Florida State 47.
Well, that's just excellent awareness here. Look at how he climbs the pocket here. He stays in front of it, realizes nothing's there, so he takes off and runs, slips off a tackle. Then when he's running in the 2 defenders, realizes nothing there. He's got to go down. Great job there by Griffin Jelkic.
Ben Cole was the man who had a chance to limit that gain, and instead kind of got ran over there by Jelkic, who runs a play fake here and a quick throw over the middle. That's Bubba Davis.
Well, and I like that. They had OPP in the backfield. They used him on a play action. They go over the middle to Davis. They got to do more stuff like that.
Kevin Watts, 6 tackles here tonight. Pistol full house here for the Auburn defense. Another play fake. Pressure gets home as down goes Jelkic.
Well, we've seen the defensive end makes plays, especially Latrell Graves. This time they bring the blitz off of the backside, and it's the safety Kevin Watts who gets in there for his first sack of the season.
Up 2nd and 17 here for the Auburn Tigers. This is their 8th drive of the game. First drive here of the second half, and it's a read option for Robert Davis to pick up 5.
I thought that was just a counter play that he cut up the middle, and I think it's his longest run. Talok in there with his 5th tackle. Still 3rd and 12 there. Tough third down to convert. They're only 1 of 7.
Jelkic in the gun, heels at the 40. Halfback screen, left side. Robert Davis fighting for yardage. He's only going to get 3 and get back to the original line of scrimmage.
I saw Please No screen. It was Hex in chat, and you almost kind of knew it was coming because of the blitz earlier on. They'd taken the sack that they might have wanted to try to catch him off guard, but they didn't.
Fryer Cook misses from 49 yards out and from that right hash, and a rare miss by Fryer Cook.
Only his 3rd miss in the last 2 seasons. When Fryer Cook's missing, you know things aren't going well.
So Florida State will take over from their own 32 and an opportunity to really put the pressure on Auburn. It's a handoff here, and Vidar Loon chugging his way forward for 11.
I hate to say it for the Auburn faithful, but it just looks like everything's going Florida State's way right now. They're fighting harder on offense. Their kicker's playing better. Their defense is playing better. Auburn needs somebody to step up and turn the momentum.
Loon got balled up in the backfield by Callaway, but Loon was able to shake him off and pick up 2.
Loon's still trying to catch up to Dowdy Dell. I know he won barely the head-to-head bet last season, but I thought they went double or nothing this season. And Loon's a long way behind his buddy from the season 6 recruiting class.
Well, Adonis Jackson doesn't feed it to him, and maybe he should have, but the Auburn defense closed quickly on Jackson. It's a loss of 3. to set up a long third down.
Well, this is what you want to do if you're Auburn. You want to force them in the long third downs. Now you got to get them off the field.
Jackson to throw. Quick throw, and Loon heard the footsteps of Mark Callaway and decided, I want no part of that, as he drops it.
Well, the important part of playing cover two, which is what Auburn did there, is to get a pass rush up front. They got that, and they forced the 3-and-out. Or not so 3-and-out, but they forced the turnover on downs.
They forced the punt, and so the Auburn defense able to keep the scoreboard the way it is, still trailing by 13. But, Mike, this Auburn offense has got to get some things figured out.
Well, and they have the people to do it. If you remember the Nebraska or the Miami game, where Miami was down by 17 in the fourth quarter, and they hit 3 big plays, the Blaze Gunner, Cross-Ferry's the same kind of receiver.
Well, they're not going to get back into it with plays like that, as Jelkic put that in double coverage and was looking for Matt Suarez.
Florida State's just not giving him a lot to work with, and he's having to make quick decisions, and it's not working out for him.
Jelkic a throw here. There's the tight end McKenzie, and he's going to fight for the first down, picking up 11.
That's the second time they've gone to that levels concept of McKenzie. I think they need to run that more because it's getting open when they're using it.
I formation here for the Tigers, one of the rare occasions tonight. And they brought a receiver in motion, but the give to Robert Davis as he finds that cutback lane for 8 yards.
Well, it's excellent vision there. They were bottled up the middle, and he uses his vision to bounce outside and get a lot more than what he would have if he would have went where the play was designed, which was up the middle.
Run this I formation back out. They're going to split out Michael McKenzie in the slot. It's a play fake. Jelkic finding McKenzie on the corner route down to the 31.
Well, McKenzie's definitely a guy that could be a difference maker. I don't know if they've got somebody that can contain him all night long. Kevin Watts is in coverage, but gave him a little bit too much space there. I think if they use McKenzie a little bit more, that could be one of the ways to get back into this.
From the 31-yard line and from the left hash, it's 1st and 10. Jelkic under center. 2 tight ends on the field and a handoff. Davis up the middle, and he gets turned around and put on his back after a 4-yard run.
Walk-on Justin Thompson there to lay the big hit. Even the walk-ons are playing big for Florida State tonight.
Auburn approaching the red zone. Ball spot at the 26. Davis with the carry and the first down and a whole lot more. Down inside the 15.
Well, we said we needed somebody on Auburn to kind of take over, and right now it looks like McKenzie and Davis are doing that. Davis, his vision looks a lot better than it was in the first half, so maybe he's settled in a little bit.
There, they cleaned his visor as Jelkic going to the flats there, and that pass caught by Bubba Davis, gain of 3.
Well, maybe he was just dehydrated and he needed some hydration at the half. Maybe he came in and his brain wasn't functioning, but right now he's running the ball really well. They need Jelkic to start hitting that switch too.
4 wide, Cross-Ferry the third, single receiver atop the screen. Jelkic to the right side, and in the flats is Bubba Davis again. This time it's for 4 yards, 3rd and 4.
Well, if you're Conrad Wallace, be prepared. It's very likely this could be a run here.
Auburn 1 for 8 on 3rd downs. This their 9th try added of the night. McKenzie, the tight end, in motion from right to left. Read option. Tom Pence slowed him down, and Rob Money put the brakes on.
You know, I thought it was a decent look. They only had 4 down linemen, 1 linebacker. The look was there. They didn't give it up the middle, which might have been the right way to go, but again, got to give credit to Florida State for playing good defense.
Brian Cook nails it from 25 yards out, makes it a 10-point game, but right now, things are still turning up in Florida State's favor.
Yeah, everything's going well for Florida State. They're just playing better right now. They're executing better. Their play calling's better. There he goes!
Tom Pence taking it the distance, and our first kick return touchdown of the season is in for Florida State.
Tom Pence finally breaks the drought. We haven't seen a kick return touchdown all season. Auburn gets the field goal, and Tom Pence says, I'll see your 3 and raise you 7.
And all 2 people who bet 1,000 on Tom Pence with 1,000 or 100 to 1 odds, going to be very happy people.
I don't think it was 100 to 1. I think it was 10 to 1.
Oh, it might have been 10 to 1. I might have misread it.
On the first kick return touchdown of the season?
Yes.
Yeah, it was 10-1. But yeah, the two people, not a lot of people played that, surprisingly. I thought more people would. Yeah, only a couple people bet on Pence, and they come up big.
So now Crossbury the third going to try to repeat the endeavor and had a chance to do so. Got out to the 30, but this Auburn offense, Auburn in general, just reeling now.
Well, and that really fired up the chat. Now Auburn's going to need to get fired up. Now remember, Miami came back from down 17.5 against Alabama. Auburn's got a chance to do that.
And a quick pass out to the flats for Davis. Gets followed up by Cam 2 for no gain.
Yeah, right now Auburn's trying to keep it outside. They're trying, it looks like, to open up some running room up the middle. They're just not really getting a whole lot when they try to go to those constraint plays.
McKenzie, the tight end, in motion. Jelkic with a blitz in his face, and he's going to go short. There's Bubba Davis. He'll pick up 4 yards and make it a manageable 3rd and 6.
Well, when you can go cover zero there, when you can go cover zero and your safeties can play man coverage like that and only give up a gain of 4, that's pretty good.
Single back set, 5-step drop. Jelkic floating this on the left sideline, and that pass caught Matt Suarez. Going to outrun the Seminoles for 6.
Well, that's the newcomer Phillip Walker in coverage, and the fellow 3-star Suarez beats him, and so Auburn does a great job of answering back. I don't know how he got so wide open out there. Walker was a little lost in coverage, it looks like, and Jelkic takes advantage of it, and now Auburn just back down by 2 scores.
So the Auburn defense, or the Auburn offense, finding a way to respond to that kick return for a touchdown, our first of the season by Tom Pence. And Mike, the advice is probably don't kick it to him again.
Well, if he were to get 2 back-to-back after not having any all season, that would be something.
This kick going to be fielded not by Pence, but by Vidar Lund, and Lund cannot, so he's still on his feet, and driven down at about the 32-yard line for the Seminoles.
I'm telling you, Florida State just playing like they wanted a little bit more.
Empty backfield, Jackson to throw. Quick throw to right sideline. And stepping out of bounds, the tight end, Monte Jones. Only his first catch of the night.
You know, I got to double check at the sports book because Shane said that somebody just won $100K on Pence, and I don't think that's right.
Pistol set. Lund motioned, read option. Donis Jackson. Not getting a whole lot there as it's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Tom Pence was 10-1, and so Grin and Gator are both they both put $500 bets down, it looks like, although there was 2,000. What am I missing here?
2 bets for a total of 1,000.
Oh, okay, so they're both going to wind up coming away with 5,000 on those 500 virtual currency bets. What is he doing?
Adonis Jackson is running in circles, and he ultimately gets sacked for a loss of 2.
It looked like it was like he was a puppy that was on a chain and he was running around the post in the middle. Wasn't sure what he was doing.
I was going to say it looked like a backwards version of Duck Duck Goose.
What is Shane talking about? 500 times 200. There is no 200. The line was 1,000 to 100. That's 10-1.
I don't know where the 200 is. Either way, Florida State's got a 3-and-out and a punt, and Crossbury the third spins out of 1, still on his feet, out across to about the 38-yard line, and Auburn an opportunity now to make this 1-score game.
Who knew you were going to have to give math lessons here on broadcast? Yes, Auburn's defense comes up there as Florida State struggles a little bit, and this is not a spot you want to be in. You don't want to give Griffin Jelkic when you're up by 3 scores a couple of times. You don't want to keep Jelkic in within 10 with a whole quarter to go.
Look at Jelkic, 24 of 35, 305 yards through the air tonight, but his first passing touchdown just came on the previous drive, and it was a long one, a 65-yarder to Matt Suarez, as they'll open the drive with a run for Robert Davis off tackle. He'll only get a yard.
Just a good job there by the Florida State defense to come crashing down as Cantu makes the tackle, and I suspect that's going to be the last play of this quarter.
Auburn will not get the snap off. So at the end of 3, Auburn trailing by 10 on the road here in Tallahassee with the SEC title still up for grabs. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live, and you don't want to miss the finish. Start of the 4th and final quarter in this one, and they'll start it with the run for Robert Davis, and he gets clocked by Taloke.
Wow. I didn't really like that I formation. You're down 10 here. I get it. You're not panicking. That's great. Show that to everybody. Hey, look, we're not panicking. But you got to get yards here. You're going to wind up start panicking.
3rd and 8, and a very crucial one at that. Jelkic to throw. Stepping up, and a laser for Michael McKenzie, and a first down.
Well, again, those defensive ends forced that one. Zach Howard was getting pressure off the backside. Great job there by Jelkic to either sense it or his tackle called out to him that he was coming, and he winds up getting rid of that one for the nice gain.
Down to the 41, and Griffin Jelkic has taken a bit of a beating in the pocket here tonight. Been pushed around by this Florida State defense. They'll go read option. Jelkic with a first down as he lowers the shoulder to fight for a little extra.
Well, and this is what can happen when you can pass the ball effectively. You spread out this defense, and then you can run it. Now there's nobody up the middle. I don't think they're going to go the QB draw, but it's there.
Empty backfield. Robert Davis coming in motion to the left. And it's a quick throw to the right side for Crossberry the third. The motion trying to empty out that side of the field, Mike.
Well, it was actually that play is set up to be a screen to Davis, but they have that backside slant, and so Jelkic saw something that he liked, tried to go there. Just wasn't much room. Well played by Florida State.
Draw play here. Robert Davis, a stiff arm on Rob Money, and Money will win that battle, holding Davis to a gain of 1.
Well, a field goal here for Auburn isn't the worst thing in the world.
12th, 3rd down of the night for the Tigers. They've converted only 3 of 11 coming into this one. Jelkic to throw. Quick throw, Robert Davis out of bounds. It's no gain, 4th and 7.
Well, you got to suspect that they felt okay with Friar-Cook. Whoa, they don't feel okay with Friar-Cook getting them up. Whoa, I don't agree with this call.
Auburn going to go for it on 4th and 7 from the Florida State 25, and Jelkic throwing middle, and Bubba Davis converts.
Well, despite getting that one, they had a play drawn up that they like. I still don't like that call. You could have only been down 7. Very risky play there for Auburn.
9 catches, 68 yards for Bubba Davis, and it's a pistol full house here on first down. Triple option, the pitch, Robert Davis fighting forward, still on his feet, and not into the end zone.
I thought he was going to get in. What a play there by Robert Davis, just showing all kinds of heart. Comes up just short. Will the fullback now steal his thunder and get a touchdown?
It's the full house again. Read option, and Griffin Jelkic going down for a loss of 3.
Well, another walk-on getting in there, making a play for Florida State. OPP was the pitch man there, but they played it so well, Jelkic couldn't even think about pitching it. Great defense for the Seminoles.
Up 2nd and goal, ball spotted at the 3. In the previous play, or 2 plays ago, I should say, Robert Davis got to the half-yard line where he was marked down. Instead of the touchdown, they're going to give it to Davis again, and he's going to lose 3 more yards to back Auburn up to the 6.
Another walk-on coming up and making a big play, slowing down Davis as Graves gets over there to make the tackle. Now it's 3rd and goal, and despite going for it on that 4th down, it looks like they might have to settle for a field goal anyway.
12th play of the drive, the longest of Auburn's drives tonight, as Jelkic to throw, dancing, pressure in his face, and he has to throw that through the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I thought Suarez was open, but Jelkic didn't. Wow, they're going for it again.
Auburn playing aggressive with 5:12 in the game, 4th and goal. Jelkic to throw, pressure, back corner, Crossberry, touchdown.
Well, when you've got the championship game MVP throwing passes for you, why not play aggressive? You also got a big-time playmaker in Crossberry. The line blocks for him. Jelkic finds him, and now they're only down 3.
Mike, it's a huge swing. They're going to take another look at it, but from our angle, I thought it was a catch.
I did too. Yeah, he's got 2 feet in. Yeah, he's well, yeah, there's no reason. I mean, it's late in a close game that means a lot, but there's no question.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the touchdown remains. Auburn an extra point away with Friar Cook to make this a 3-point game, despite coming into this, about halftime down by 13. At one point they were down by 17. And now Auburn still on the cusp of pulling this off.
Well, you got to remember, they got guys like OPP and Mark Callaway, Conrad Wallace out there on defense. They're perfectly capable of getting a stop here and giving it back to Jelkic.
Vidar Loon not going to get much on that return, and he has returned every kick since Tom Pence had the 99-yard kick return for a touchdown.
Buck asked if that was the over. I showed the over was 52.5, so they passed that a long time ago.
And off here, Loon outside to the left, and Micah Myers put the brakes on that one, lots of 2.
Well, they got the first one that they needed. Micah Myers, Bubba Baller, they got a bunch of ballers on this team. Myers is the one that steps up there. They need 2 more, and then Jelkic is going to have lots of time to try to get a touchdown to take the lead.
Don't forget, Auburn's got that all-time interceptions leader on defense in Ollie P. Peters. Although a run here for Vidar Loon, and he will spin for the first down.
Well, Vidar Loon wants to see his name in the record book somewhere when it's all said and done, and he fights hard there to pick up a much-needed first down for this Florida State offense.
OPP wants his name in the record book in 2 different stats. Comes into tonight, had 2 forced fumbles away from being the all-time leader in that. One away with tie with Nate Jones, and you see Peters going for the fumble there, but Loon, the fight to get 7.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Right now, Vidar Loon's coming up big.
Spotted about the 43-yard line, nearing the midway point of this 4th quarter. Speed option, and Conrad Wallace flying off the edge to put a stop to that.
Conrad Wallace says, I'm your big-time player, buddy. Nobody blocked him, and he flew through like there was a, I don't know, there was a stack of weights there that he wanted to start lifting.
Empty backfield here, 3rd and 7. Jackson with a 3-man rush, but a short throw, and he leads Waters out of bounds, picking up half the distance needed, and Florida State will punt.
That was actually the right read, but Jackson leads him a little bit too far. If he leads him underneath a little bit, he could turn upfield and get that first. Now Auburn's got time.
Osprey the third, fighting on the return, and gets blown up by a walk-on after he gets 11. But as you said, Auburn has time. Mike, I think they've got a little bit of the momentum.
They might have a little bit. It looks like Florida State's been struggling, especially in the second half.
Single back set, the handoff. Robert Davis, a stiff arm to help him get to the edge and back to the line of scrimmage before the Seminoles will close in.
Pence gets in there for his 5th tackle. I mean, I get it. You got a lot of time. I feel like you're getting a little bit too predictable on first down.
4 wide, Jelkic to throw. Standing in, quick throw to the right sideline. That's Michael McKenzie picking up 3, and very quickly 3rd and 7.
Just takes a little check down, takes what he gets. 3rd and 7. I hope they're not planning on going for it on 4th down again.
Auburn 3 of 13 on 3rd downs tonight, but they've been perfect on 4th down so far, as Jelkic gonna float that one out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, good defense by Florida State. Didn't give Jelkic much to work with, so they go 3 and out. They'll have to punt it away, and they need their defense to make another stop.
Auburn Tigers will punt, and from this side of the field, you can understand why, but it's gonna give the Seminoles really good field positions. Tom Pence, the return man, and he cannot work the same kind of magic in the punt return game as he can in the kick return game.
Well, great field position here as they're going to start at their own 43. They only need about 25 yards to get in the field goal range.
And off Loon, up the middle, and out to midfield before he's stopped by Peters.
Well, this is the danger in running on first down and then having to throw that ball away on 3rd down and punt it away, as Vidar Loon is playing very well. And even if they only get 1 first down, they're almost taking you out of this game.
Loon with the carry, bottled up, and a huge hit from Peters, but Loon stretches and gets the first down.
He does, and it makes Auburn use their first time out. Now they can still get the stop and get the ball back with some time, but that was a huge run by Vidar Loon.
In motion to set the pistol. right up the middle for Vidar Lund, and was still technically on his feet, as you see Ollie P. Peters coming in, trying to jar that one loose at 2nd and 5.
It's games like this where stars at running back make a difference.
Make a big difference. It's Lund again fighting for yardage, but the Auburn defense collapses. 3rd and 3. Auburn's out of timeouts.
Ambrose McDanielson's the first one back there and slowed him down. It's 3rd and 3. It's short, but they got a chance.
Play fake Jackson. That pass nearly intercepted. It's 4th down.
And I think that was Ben Grant that got his hands on that one. Might have been looking at the end zone. Wasn't able to bring it in. So Auburn, no timeouts, but they're going to get the ball back with about 1:50 to play.
This punt will hit in the end zone. And there's the touchback. And so Auburn going to send out this offense led by Griffin Jelkic.
Well, Jelkic got an opportunity. He's done very well in leading from ahead, and he's had some really big games. I don't know that I can remember a 17-point comeback, but he's got an opportunity to complete one here.
Well, he's going to play dangerously as that pass nearly intercepted.
Well, he almost saw it go away, and if you really want to cement your legacy, you need to come up with a keystone win like this.
Jelkic in the gun. McKenzie, the tight end, in motion. Griffin Jelkic to throw. And the quick check down for Robert Davis. Picks up 9, 3rd and 1.
Short, manageable 3rd and 1. We know they're going on 4th down, so they got options here. You can try to run it. You can even take a shot. As long as you don't throw an interception, that might not be the worst thing.
1.5 minutes of play here in the 4th. 5-step drop. Jelkic to the sideline and overthrows Matt Suarez. The ball game comes down to this.
Yeah, he had him open. That was not a throwaway. That was just, I missed. And so now it looks like they're going to try to let Robert Davis get it.
Going to give it to him. And Davis does get it, and a whole lot more out across to the 42.
Well, again, in games like this, star running backs make a difference, and Davis made a difference there.
Jelkic going no huddle. 3 men on the field. The 3 receivers, I should say. Is a quick pass. There's Davis. He gets 6. Taloke there to stop him.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but really at this point you want to be throwing past the marker.
Auburn's going to clock on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd and 4.
So again, they got 2 shots at it. Running the ball is not out of the question here, especially with as much room as they have in the middle.
1:07 to play. Jelkic to throw. Dancing in the pocket. He's taken the shot downfield and is caught. Crossbury to 3rd down to the 15.
Well, great job there. They ran verticals, and he wanted the shot. He could have checked it down to Davis. He saw Ferry come back and beat Kevin Watts and got the big play.
Jelkic to throw again. Standing in. Quick pass into traffic and nearly intercepted by Juan Cantu. Would have been his 2nd of the night.
Well, for some reason, they went 4 verts again, and he tried to check it down, and he just misses throwing his 2nd possible interception on this drive.
4 wide. Ferry, the single receiver, bottom of the screen. Jelkic going short right side. There's Bubba Davis down inside the 10. Spot him at the 9.
I actually don't hate that there. They go to Davis, they pick up decent yards, but they keep the clock running and give less time to Florida State if they can punch this in.
Jelkic to throw here. Pressure in his face. That pass caught. Touchdown, Auburn.
Well, there he did it. Jelkic, he completes the comeback from down 17. Now they score there with 34 seconds. An excellent job there by McKenzie, by the way, to catch that one and turn back inside and get the touchdown. Now it's up to the Auburn defense to convert it, or does Adonis Jackson, who's got 3 timeouts, get an opportunity for a keystone win for himself?
Mike, we saw this between Florida State and Florida a couple of weeks ago. That was a similar situation, and Adonis Jackson drove his offense down the field for the win.
Well, he would really cement himself in the history of the Florida State program with a win here.
Vidar Lund trying to make sure that his offense didn't have to come out, but that was not the case. 29 seconds left, ball spot at the 32-yard line and from the right hash.
Well, the interesting thing here is Florida State's done a lot with their run game. They got 3 3-star wide receivers.
That pass caught on the sideline by the tight end Monte Jones to get 7 and open up this drive.
Well, that's one guy we haven't seen a whole lot, but Monte Jones is the one guy that can be a difference maker on this drive.
Want to remind everybody that CFSL action does not end here. We've got another one come up after this. Michigan at Notre Dame. It'll be about 30 minutes after this one. They run it with Loon there to get 5.
That was a nice job there. You got 3 timeouts, so you can run it. You can run it one more time at some point.
22 seconds remaining. Jackson to throw. Quick throw for Kamorian Moore, and he gets blown up by Callaway. Incomplete pass.
I think Callaway actually helped him out there because it saves him a timeout.
18 seconds remaining. Donis Jackson taking his time with it. 3 wide on the field. And it's a handoff to Loon on the draw, but Conrad Wallace there to blow it up. It's a loss of 2.
I don't love that. I get the idea. They're hoping that they catch them in a blitz. Now Auburn knows that they can't take a timeout, so now it looks like they're going to blitz.
Auburn rolling coverage. Ollie P. Peters gets rolled back, and the handoff to Loon again.
Well, they did run it. They did try to run it. Wow, that was an interesting play call. And now they're kind of setting up a Hail Mary situation.
Blitz coming. Jackson to throw. Taking the shot to the left sideline. That pass caught out of bounds by Kamorian Moore, but the game is over.
Well, Auburn comes from behind, and what a way. If you want to get the longest ever winning streak, Florida State made you do it in the most difficult fashion possible. Maybe a little inexperience shown there on the clock management by Adonis Jackson, as it was a good pass, but he took a little bit too much time. Didn't have enough time to get one more play off. Auburn comes back from down 17 in the third quarter to win their 10th straight game here in the CFSL.
And we are not done as Auburn wins 38-34 here on the road. We take you next to South Bend here in about 30 minutes for Michigan and Notre Dame to wrap up Week 6. For Mike, I'm David. We'll see you then.